Millie Bobby Brown has simply had enough of journalists and social media users making comments about her appearance and her body, and truly the fact that she looks a lot older than her age. She is 21. There have been a lot of new photos coming out of her on red carpets where she looks far older than 21.
Here's an example.
Not saying it to be mean. I'm actually making a statement of fact that a lot of people have been taking notice. Millie Bobby Brown looks at least a decade older than her real age, if not more. I don't know why that is. If it's genetics, is it makeup, is it editing, is it lighting, is it the hair, is it the wardrobe? Maybe it's all a combination of the above. But now Millie Bobby Brown has noticed this discourse rising up online about her, and she has decided to officially respond to it on an Instagram video. And I just want to read the caption before we watch it. She said, "I want to take a moment to address something that I think is bigger than just me, something that affects every young woman who grows up under public scrutiny. It's necessary to speak up about this. I started in this industry when I was 10 years old. I grew up in front of the world, and for some reason, people can't seem to grow with me. Instead, they act like I'm supposed to stay frozen in time, like I should still look the way I did on Stranger Things Season 1. And because I don't, I'm now a target. Let's talk about the articles, the headlines, the people who are so desperate to tear young women down." And here she goes down a list calling out individual journalists who I'm sure are going to get dragged through the mud. "Why are Gen Zers like Millie Bobby Brown aging so badly?" by Lydia Hawken. "What has Millie Bobby Brown done to her face?" by John Eli. "Millie Bobby Brown mistaken for someone's mom as she guides younger sister through LA" by Cassie Carpenter. "Little Britain's Matt Lucas takes savage swipe at Millie Bobby Brown's new mommy makeover look." Amplifying an insult rather than questioning why a grown man is mocking a young woman's appearance. "This isn't journalism, this is bullying. The fact that adult writers are spending their time dissecting my face, my body, my choices is disturbing. The fact that some of these articles are written by women is even worse. I
love this complete fantasy world that women in Hollywood live in, where all women get along and are all nice to each other. That's maybe the biggest lie that Hollywood and feminism has ever taught you, is that women unabashedly love each other no matter what and aren't competitive with one another and don't try to sabotage one another. See, the difference between men and women in that respect is because it's more inherent to men's actual characteristics, because competition among men is biology, right? Mm-hmm. It's a different type of competition between men and women. They've created this fiction where women are more highly evolved than men and just want to help each other, which is built off the idea about community building that women actually do participate in, but it's not the same thing when you're competing with other women for resources. Mm-hmm. It's a lie.
I feel bad for the women who ended up believing that lie, because it only does them a disservice to live in this fantasy world. We have a 20 from the Manic Mustache. "Late as usual, but apropos to demonic possession, 20 years ago I was on a 9-day Adderall bender. I fought my sofa and put my coffee table into the barbecue to converse with the creatures that were residing. Stay toxic, my friends."
Yeah, bro. I've turned on faucets and was pretty sure they were telling me something.
Wait, are you kidding?
I'm not kidding.
You thought that the faucet was talking to you?
I mean, I thought the faucet was saying something. I don't know if it was talking to me, but I've been there.
Okay. Well, let's not split hairs. No. She continues, "We always talk about supporting and uplifting young women, but when the time comes, it seems easier to tear them down for clicks. Disillusioned people can't handle seeing a girl become a woman on her terms, not theirs. I refuse to apologize for growing up. I refuse to make myself smaller to fit the unrealistic expectations of people who can't handle seeing a girl become a woman. I will not be shamed for how I look, how I dress, or how I present myself. We have become a society where it's so much easier to criticize than it is to pay a compliment. Why is the knee-jerk reaction to say something horrible rather than to say something nice? If you have a problem with that, I have to wonder, What is it that actually makes you so uncomfortable? Let's do better, not just for me, but for every young girl who deserves to grow up without fear of being torn apart for simply existing.
Read it again, right before the end there.
Why is the knee-jerk reaction to say something horrible than to say something nice? Basically, if you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything at all, which is nice advice from your grandmother, but it has nothing to do with the way your life works when you are in the public eye as a Hollywood star.
Unfortunately, it's just the downside of being a public figure.
Right.
You don't have a choice otherwise.
Tale as old as that has existed.
I love the idea of living in a world of nothing but positivity, but the thing is even if you approach these types of topics from an analytical standpoint, people will say you're being negative because you're not heaping 100% praise all the time. I would like to believe that most of the time when we approach these topics, outside of maybe some spicy thumbnails or some over the top thumbnails, we approach most of these discussions from a fairly analytical and even keel standpoint. You know, outside of the few examples where a topic is just so annoying to someone that you might get a little bit over the top, but you actually get more clicks and grow faster if you're more over the top. And I don't think that we really go there that often. I think that every time we've discussed this, it's been some type of discussion about what the effects of Hollywood is on a woman's body image issues and how aging in the spotlight affects different people differently. And that isn't an inherently negative thing. It's more dishonest, and if I'm being honest, more feminine to be unabashedly positive all the time, even if it doesn't line up with reality, which is its own form of toxic positivity, which is just as bad for society as being consistently negative all the time. Now, finding the sweet spot in the middle there, where you're both analytical and fair, is great, but doesn't usually equal out to the type of attention that really, really grows for channels in the sphere. Most of the time, it's the ones who dunk that get the clicks.
True, and I feel bad for Millie because she, as she admits here, was thrust into this spotlight at the age of 10. Had no choice in the matter, really.
Yeah, no real say in the matter.
And now this is where she's at. There's no way to escape it, and I don't think she was prepared for the consequences, and I don't want to seem dispassionate or mean or cruel, but being torn apart, being defamed, slandered, having your privacy invaded, having no privacy at all, getting nitpicked for your appearance, that and so much more is a tale as old as Hollywood, and specifically a tale as old as Hollywood combined with the internet and social media. Like, that is just an occupational hazard that she has to accept over time. Or she can retreat from the public eye entirely and probably live very comfortably on all of the money she has made from her Netflix contract and her beauty brand. And she won't have to deal with any of this ever again. I think that we should first take a look at the video and see how she comes off in this. It's not... Here's the thing I'll say that's just a little bit petty. If I were making a response video to people calling me ugly, I would look incredible. Flawless, unimpeachable in the video. She looks like she just rolled out of bed. That's the truth. But let's take a look.
Hi everyone, it's Millie. I want to take a moment to address something that I think is bigger than just me. Something that affects every young woman who grows up under public scrutiny. I think this is very necessary to talk about. I started in the industry when I was 10 years old.
I guess it's
I grew
just
up
the script
in front of the world, and for some reason...
So she's doing this as a scripted video.
Yeah.
People
Does she look upset?
Can't seem to grow up with me. Instead, they act...
Really? She looks kind of dispassionate, given the word.
Like I'm supposed to stay frozen in time. Like I should...
I mean, you also pointed out it's not that she's expected to be frozen in time.
It's that you look like you hopped in a time machine and went 20 years in the future to a lot of people.
Yeah. I'm looking at a lot of supportive comments. I'm so proud of you, Millie. You're a brave and strong woman. Love you with all my heart. Keep going. Ignore these negative comments about you. Thank you for talking about this. You have a very beautiful and warm heart. We'll always support and defend you.
Well, here's the thing. If I'm being honest and fair, the first thing you have to accept is that those positive comments are going to come in numbers and the negative comments are going to come in numbers, and it's up to you as an individual to decide which of them you focus on. Now, I understand completely that it is human nature to dismiss all of the nice things, and your brain just harps on the mean stuff that people say to you. It's how we work. I have no idea why that is. But the logic that I always have is like, look, people say very nice things a lot of the time. And most of the time I'm like, in my head, I'm like, oh, thank you. But I don't always take the time to respond because I'm busy and stuff like that. But it's somehow like people can always set time aside if somebody's talking shit. And then they want to respond back, right? Because they feel like they're having their honor imbued or something.
Yeah.
Like, it's different. But the thing is you need to say, like, if I don't even have time to give credence to the nice things that people are saying to me, why would I give time to the negative stuff that people say to me, and accept that narratives formed by the industry are outside of your control? It is maybe one of the most utopian thought processes that comes out of Hollywood, is women thinking that they can decide how their image and body is going to be discussed. I suppose in the same way that power is discussed with men. Like, it's great if we want to get past the idea of thinking like, oh, all these men have all this power, therefore they use it for evil. You know, we could talk all day about changing demographics of executives in Hollywood and all of these things, but at the end of the day, you can't change it. It is what it is. It's your job to just do what you can to accept what is coming at you, because this is the industry you've chosen to work in.
Yeah, that's the nice way of saying it. One harsh response came from Adrienne Curry, a former winner of America's Next Top Model and self-proclaimed retired Hollywood douchebag. She responded to Millie's video saying she has no clue how bad it gets. She's still a little baby, absolute tip of the iceberg. Try winning Top Model in 2003 at 20 years old and see how people react to you now being 42 with gray hair. Also, never do injections. Everyone notices and promptly talks shit.
I will say, like, between stories that I've heard from, like, even, like, women that work in the conservative media space, I would never want to be a woman in the public. It just sounds awful.
That comes with other considerations as well.
Way more. Like, I would never want that. I can't believe that anyone would even choose that life. But you do. Mm-hmm. And you accept that that's kind of like, there's an aspect of that that's your cross to bear, given the choice of career.
Yeah, I'm more so left wondering still why Millie Bobby Brown looks like that.
I have no idea.
Like, it's not bad when people notice very obvious things. Yeah. It's not, I mean, they can say it in a mean way, but you're on a red carpet. I
mean, I guess I look at this and I don't see anything like...
That's a still from a movie.
Yeah, that's from Electric State.
She doesn't look like that in real life.
No.
Weirdly enough. She does not look like that in real life. Looks very different.
Yep.
Do you think that she's getting work done? If she is, that's really sad.
You would
she's
know
only
more
21.
about that than me. I have no idea. To me, I look
from
at
what
it.
I can tell she's not.
Yeah. I don't know. I know that I wouldn't want to be a woman working in that industry. And
you need to not explain yourself and just have a glow up. That's the best move. Don't say anything. Have a glow up. Continue living your life. Don't address it. Yep. Don't clap back. I think her husband should have stopped her from even making this video.
The clapping back never goes well.
Never goes well.
The journalists applaud you and everybody else, uses it as cannon fodder.
I wonder what's going to happen to all these journalists that she just called out. Are they going to get fired? Like, what's going to happen to their careers?
No, they'll love it. Like, these publications are still pro-drama because it gives them clicks.
So it's beneficial for all involved, I guess.
It is.
Except Millie Bobby Brown.
It is.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.